Hello everyone, welcome back to our online learnings. So how are you today? Okay, I am fine, thank you for asking. So today is the second day of our 7 weeks of our online learning for this term. And it is also the second day of our new month, which is June. So in this new month, we are going to study the new lessons for our book, as I said in the previous session of the video. So I hope you remember the books that we are studying for today. So the book that we are studying for today is Speaking to the 3A, as you can see on the whiteboard. Do you have the book with me right? Do you have? So everyone, do you have the book with all of you right now? So here is the book that we are going to study for these sessions. So now if you have the book, you can open your book to page 50 with me all together. So on page 50 here, do you remember what you have studied from the previous session of this lesson? Alright, from the previous session you studied the lesson on this page, and we have already looking at some of the difficult words here in the box. And do you remember all those words, everyone? Okay, so let's test how much you remember the vocabulary from the previous sessions. So on the whiteboard, I have 5 difficult words. What you need to do is to give me the definitions of each words. Now I want to start with the first one. The first one is chef. Can you guess what is the meaning of the word chef? Okay, the word chef here refers to a person who is very good at cooking. I hope you guess the right answer. Number 2, which is vegetarians. What is your guess? Okay, so vegetarian refers to a person who doesn't eat meat. He or she eats only vegetable, so we call them vegetarians. Number 3, the word combine, which functions as a verb. And if you want to change it into a noun, you can see the word in your book, which is combination. So the meaning of the word combine is to put things together. Number 4, noble man. Okay, noble man. It is referred to a person who ranks in the highest in the society. And mostly this word they use in the past, because nowadays we all are equal. There is no the low status people, there is no high status people. We all are equals. Last but not least, we have the word topping. So topping here refers to something that you eat but you put on top of your foods. Very good. Now I hope you remember all those words, and in your book on page 50, as you can see, there is one practice exercise, and this exercise will appear in your classwork or maybe in your homework. That is why I said you need to remember all these words that we have studied from the previous session, so that you can do this type of exercise. Now in this video session, we are going to learn the conversation that you listened in the previous video session. So those conversations, do you remember how many people are there in that conversation? Alright, there are 3 people, the baker, student number 1 and student number 2. So now everyone, are you ready for the listening? Okay, but before you listen, you need to know why you listen to those conversations again. Okay, so in this today activity, you are going to listen to those conversations in order to do 2 activities for today. So the first one is to put the picture in the correct order, because the focus of our learnings of the unit 3 is explaining the process. That is why we need to look at the order of making the sandwich. Last but not least, you need to answer the questions So how many questions are there? There are 3 questions, as you can see in your book. Now you know what you are going to do. So listen carefully and find the answer of those activities, everyone. So now let's start. Okay, so the listening is over now. I hope you get the main idea and the answer for those activities on the whiteboard. So let's start with our first activities. Okay, let me find my marker. So here I get my marker. So what you need to do for the first activity is to put the pictures in the correct order. So everyone, after you finish the listening, do you know what they are talking about? They are talking about the process of making sandwich. So what is the first step? So the first step of making the sandwich is to bake cake. To bake the bread, right? Because we need bread in order to make the sandwich. So this picture is the first step. You need to do this, and after you bake cake, why I keep saying bake cake again and again? It is bake bread, right? So it is sandwich, okay? Sandwich. So they bake bread. After we have the bread, we need to slide that bread, because sandwich they just slide, and we put the ingredient in the middle, and the bread are on. There are 2 sides of the bread. They put together and just make a sandwich. So this is the first step. So what is the second step? You have bread now. Next, you need ingredient in order to make your sandwich. So the ingredient of making a sandwich, they are vegetable, they have meat or cheese, right? So here the second thing is you need to get all this ingredient, which is step number 2, or the second step. After you get all this ingredient, what do? You chop it or you slice it, and you mix it together, and then you put it on top of your breads. So this is the third process. After the end, you just put some vegetable. Here we have salad, we have potato here. So you put it here, and then you combine the 2 slices of bread together in order to have the sandwich. So this is the final process, which is the fourth step. So everyone, after you listen to the baker explaining the process of making the sandwich, can you make the sandwich by yourself? For me, I still cannot make sandwich by myself, because I am not a good cook and I have no experience in making this type of food before. So I don't want to try this. But if you want to try, you can, because you know the ingredient, you know the process already, so you may try it at home. Now we know the process of making the sandwich. It is the time for us to deeply understand the conversation. So there are 3 questions to reflect on how you listen to the conversation. If you are able to answer these 3 conversations correctly, mean that you already understand the whole conversation and you are good at listening. So now let's start with question number 1. Where the people and what are they talking about? Okay, where the people and what are they talking about? In your listening or in your speaking to the book on page 51, you can see there is a yellow note on top of your listenings or of the conversation. So this note, they give you the clue in order to help you answer the first question. So they give you the definition of the word delete. So delete is a short word, and the full word of this is delicatens. So delicatessen refer to the shop that sell good food. So those people, they are at the delis. which is the store or the shop. And what are they talking about? All right, they are talking about the process of making sandwich. Very good. Let's move on to number 2. So number 2, what is the first step in the sandwich making process? Okay, the answer is here. I don't need to explain it again. Number 3, why are sandwiches student 2's favorite foods? Why? Because look at the step of making this. Is it complicated? No, it is very easy and it is convenient to make. And you can carry it around with you very easy, okay? So that is the reason why student number 2 favorite food is sandwiches. And you can make your own ingredient, you can change everything and you will never tired of it. You can modify and adjust and combine a different ingredient together. So your sandwich will taste differently based on your favorites. Now everyone, it comes to the end of our video session. So when you finish learning this session, I hope you understand and learn something about the process of making sandwich. And don't forget to look at the conversations and vocabulary in this lesson again and again to make sure that you remember what you have learned. So everyone, now it's come to the end of our sessions. I hope to see all of you again in the next session. Goodbye everyone.